Good morning, class. Before we start our today's topic, let me ask you a quick question. Why do some people have brown eyes while others have black or blue eyes? Is it random or is there something that controls it? So, for today's topic, we are going to talk about genes and alleles and how they determine our traits. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to differentiate gene and allele and give example of each. So, for our learning objectives, first we must define what is a gene, and then we will learn what an allele is. And finally, we will compare the two using examples. So, why do you think this topic is important for us to understand? This topic is important because genes and alleles explain why we look different from each other, even we have the same family. Let us begin with gene. What is a gene? So, a gene is a section of DNA that controls a specific trait. For an example, there is a gene for eye color, there is a gene for hair type, and there is a gene for height. The following are the examples of a gene. So remember this. A gene determines what trait will appear. Now let me ask you this question. If eye color is a gene, what type or what possible eye colors could appear? Exactly. Those different versions are called alleles. So an allele is a different form of a gene. So gene is our eye color. Alleles are the color of the eye color, which is the brown, blue, and black. Let me give you another example. Gene is the hair type, while the allele is the type of hair types such as curly hair, wavy hair, and straight hair. Now, after differentiating genes and allele, let us now check your understanding. I will ask questions and you have to answer them. I will give you 5 seconds each questions and then we will see if your answer is correct. Now, which one is correct? Is height a gene or an allele? Correct. Height is a gene. Next question. How about tall or short? Is it a gene or an allele? Yes, height are alleles. So, what really is the difference? To make it more specific, gene means general trait, while allele is a specific variation of that trait. Now, let me ask you another question. Why do siblings look different even if they have the same parents? Correct, because they inherit different combinations of alleles from each parent. So today we discuss the three main ideas. First is that a gene is a section of DNA that controls a trait. Second, an allele is a different version of a gene. And third, genes and allele explain variation among individuals. So, let us go back to our learning objectives. Can you now differentiate gene and allele? Once again, let me remind you that gene controls the trait, while allele gives the specific form. So before we end our lesson for today, here is your exit question. In the trait of a flower color, which is the gene and which are the alleles? That is right. The gene is the flower color, while the alleles are red, white, and pink. Excellent! So, looks like you really did understood our lesson for today. So for our next lesson, we will learn to and talk about dominant and recessive alleles and how these traits are inherited. Thank you, class!